This is part 2 of my educational journey so far. So why did I split the video is because if I combine all the clips together, it will be more than an hour long, which is equivalent to one movie that you watch in a cinema. So previously I talked about my primary school days and I talk about my secondary school days. Also followed by my secondary school days, I talk about my time in Polytechnic Foundation Program. On this part 2, you'll be seeing me talk about my time in my diploma for 3 years and advices on university applications and whatever advices that you hear that could resonate with you, and I hope you enjoy it. So the next chapter I'm talking about is my time in School of Infocom, where I study Diploma in Business Information Systems. So what is this course about is I'll put it in a basic terms is to understand businesses and information technology to help organizations create efficient business processes. And that is what my course is about. It's very exciting because I get to not only learn Python programming, I was exposed to how to come up with solutions, how to understand the pros and cons of all these solutions like WordPress, Blogger, and how it really helps the businesses and cost efficiency so much. And I think if you are very interested in business perspective as well as the IT, I would suggest you to take up this course at RP. And I feel it's so relevant right now because there are lots of people out there who need business analysts in their company, and they could use people like yourself to really help them to strive for better, like what I say, business processes and also manage resources very effectively. In my 3 years of diploma studies, it was much better compared to my previous other chapters that I had mentioned. I made new friends at FOP. Some of them are still my friends till today. Then I also get to work with people from my other groups that really are much more enjoyable to work with compared to my last time days. And everyone there is so friendly because like they really aren't there to like competition, you know. They are really there to like study, and that is what I like about my course. Is really meeting people who I felt really they really suit what I really wanted from friends. In RP, there's this module called life skills module. So life skills module back then is separated into two components, body and mind component. So for body component back then is a component where you had to go out in RP to do example Zumba exercises, taking part in camps, that kind of leadership camps if you take part in it, or just doing something that is keeps you physically active and fit, the kind of stuff. For my points are very easy to take, like very easy to find compared to body, because mine itself you have like lectures, like guest speakers coming to school to talk about stuff, and you just need to sign up and just get the 0.5 that kind of points. And there's so many more, like you have library tours, you have my school club do organize events that allows you to make your mind active. So it's mind points are for activities that requires you to use your mind and probably to do some reflection stuff. I believe it also includes overseas trips as well, if it has to do with reflections and all that, like going out and see the industry and such. But now life skills is no longer this hard because RP has changed its curriculum to, I believe that they break it down to 3 modules. It's such a waste because freshmen that come in, they will never know how hard it is for people to really find opportunities. And through these opportunities, you really expand your network with other people. And now with this new life skills curriculum, you won't get to experience that kind of hard work. You don't really get to feel the school vibe. You don't feel like bonded, like that kind of cohesive community that RP is trying to strive for, which is the one RP. Okay, apart from that, I also, like what I mentioned, my school club. I was also in as a peer support leader in my school club, SOI club, as well as the assistant vice president for the school club where I was under the industry and technology division. So what I did during my time there as peer support leader, think of it is that apart from joining as the orientation program leader, you also have to come up with events that can bond the school of infocom students together, like welcome camps, bonding camps, like what I have mentioned, bonding camps where you get to have students meeting other new diploma students. It's very interesting, especially if you really want to broaden your network in this IT and trying to find new people to work with, because in final year project you can get to work with a lot more other people, especially with different kind of specializations. So you will have like a very complete set for final year project, where example you need web application development skills, you need cybersecurity, you need people who know cloud computing. Such bonding camps or all that is really good for you to really go out there and work with people, you know, try to find new people so you can collaborate with them. My school in RP really emphasizes on collaboration through competitions like Splash Awards, FinTech competition. We also have this C300 module called Special Project that is given to people who are in the top of their cohort, and top in their cohort to be able to like take part in Microsoft programs and all such, you know, those kind of prestige thing. I was actually invited to join for the program, but I decided not to because I was very concerned with what I want to study in university. And to me, I had to choose whether I wanted to take up data structure or C300. So which one I felt that it was more important was actually data structures, because in university, even regardless whether I'm going NUS, NTU, I feel that data structures are more important, because they are the kind of basic blocks of all these algorithm studies that you will take in future. So I took up data structure because of this whole long-term plan. My lecturers was a bit disappointed that I took up this data structures instead of C300, because they said it was easier to get an A grade if you want to. But I was like thinking, I don't want to, because in the end, what's the point? Like if I get A grade, then which is beneficial, like the skills that next time can help you in university, or just something to brag and show about? So that is what I felt in some ways to the students out there who are still studying, is to really make a wise choice. Don't join stuff just because of prestige, even though I know it helps in your university application. But if you cannot handle the workload, please don't, because you'll be very miserable and you won't have the time. And then you ask yourself, why did I do all this? In the end, I get what? Nothing. I suggest that it's really to focus on something that you really like example, if you love doing painting, like you can join the art club, and then you can also do well in your studies. If you have passion for something, I believe you have lots of things to write in your personal statement, which I will explain that in the other chapter after I finish this. This is what I have for the diploma studies. Oh, and speaking of which, I was also given this chance to be a valedictorian for my school, which sadly it did not happen because of COVID-19. COVID-19 is a burden. COVID-19, because being a valedictorian was a dream. I really wanted to be a valedictorian for my school so I can show off whatever I want. Showing off, to people, a lot of people, they don't really like the word of showing off. It makes them feel that they are not humble. And trust me, I think the worst thing is that when you hide yourself and you don't show that you are good, that's not being humble, that's being quiet, you know. I feel that humble is not about not showing off and being mute. I think being humble is when you know how to help people, you know how to find ways to tell people about your experience and tell them it's okay, and like, you know, at least encourage them instead of like keep quiet just because you don't want them to know, like you don't want them to feel down. I feel that truth in the end prevails, and that is also what I learned in my time at internship, where I realized how different my polytechnic and other polytechnic students are in terms of their personality and their mindset here. I feel that in other polytechnics, I felt that they do chase a lot of prestige and they really respect a lot on ranking position. Like, I feel that they are very hardworking in the sense that they really just want to go into very good universities. I'm very lucky in some ways that Republic Polytechnic does not promote such culture of chasing after prestige. They always ask people to do what you love, you know. Find something that you can discover and transform yourself. What they aim for the students is to really do well in Polytechnic and find a very good job. And I believe it is true though, because I have seen people from my Polytechnic, they do at the end of the day go for a very good jobs in some companies, and that is good enough, you know. It's like, hey, I mean, at least they are working and then maybe they are useful, you know, to society. I felt that is very important. But I mean, if you do want to go university, it's also can, but you have to work really damn hard to achieve the GPA. And speaking of GPA, I always find that there's something wrong with my school's GPA system. I graduated with a GPA of 3.58 when I'm supposed to graduate with a 3.59. No? And I feel that in some ways, I just want to tell you guys that don't slack during year one. I didn't slack in year one. I wasn't a very slacky person, but because I had a D grade in one of my modules, it really pulled down my whole GPA. My best advice to you, to everyone here, is that to really use that year one to study very hard. Try to get A's, try to get B plus if you can for your modules in order to get that 3.8 and above. And if you consistently do that, if you have consistency in your whole modules and stuff, I believe that you can really get that 4.0. I don't believe in such thing where, you know, those people, they come up with those video tips and all that about how to get that 4.0. I do not believe in that, because I believe that consistency is key. No matter which method of studying, it doesn't matter whether you have a fancy iPad, a notebook, or what. As long as you work hard, consistently do your notes, revise them, take part in your class discussion, listen to teachers, what they say, the tips, I think you can really get that 4.0. And I will be covering that in the later chapter once I conclude this whole chapter. Yeah, and I think that's about it for my diploma studies. I will be talking more about the university process in the next chapter. The next chapter I'll be talking about is what most people like to search about, applying universities, and what are the outcomes for certain university application chances. I like to talk about all this university stuff because I noticed that a lot of people are very misinformed about the university application process, especially the Singapore ones. A lot of them I've been going around on the reddit.com under the username of Crush Tiki, I noticed that a lot of people, they ask questions that are already on the website, but that's to tell me that a lot of people are very misinformed. And I just want to clear up the fact about GPA. So for GPA, I have mentioned I graduated with a 3.58 GPA. Now that is, in some people's eyes, is a good GPA. Not very good, not very excellent, but good GPA. At least enough for me to graduate. I can go find a good job, or I can even go for universities like SIT. So what I want to say is that a good GPA can actually bring you to places so long as you are passionate about what you want to apply. For me, I was very passionate to apply for information systems. I chose to study information systems at Singapore Management University because I love what I'm studying in my poly. And then SMU really has this flexibility that I really admire a lot, because I wanted to not just study on IT, but I also wanted to study on maybe foreign language as well, you know, or accounting, which I do not believe that other universities have such options. Most of the time, that when you look at the university applications, they already mix and match the minor for you, and I didn't like it because the minors are so shallow, like very traditional, like business, marketing, human resource, that kind of stuff. I wasn't very keen into that, and I feel that SMU fits me well because of this, again, like what I said, the flexibility. And then they are school of information systems, so they are already established in this information systems kind of a field. Also, like, one thing of SMU is that is in the city campus. It's a city campus that allows me to have my time. I'm able to walk around, do my own stuff. Even if I am alone and all that, it's still okay because they really allows you to go about do your stuff, and that is what I love about SMU. It's also the fact that it's in the city, and you can also travel MRT, like you can go by downtown line, you can go by circle line. Regardless of what, you'll still be able to walk around SMU. And this is why I chose SMU, is because of all these nice perks as someone who prefers to have her independence and freedom to do things. Okay, so for university applications, I think my advice for people on how to get that 4.0 is not really about trying to make a very pretty nice notes. I know that people always say it's about notes. I feel that if you spend time, let's say you do those colorful fancy notes, and then you don't understand the concept, that is not going to help you. Okay, I have seen people who try to make notes that are so fancy, but in the end they don't even know what they are doing. They don't even know what concept is that. They only look at it and then you just designing. I mean, like, are you designing notes or are you trying to understand your notes? That's the main issue. So first advice, try to listen in class. Try to ask your lecturers what they are saying. And it's okay to embarrass yourself, because I'm sure that people who don't raise up their hands, they are also very shy. And that is what I learned in RP, where people don't even know what they are doing, and yet they don't dare to ask the teachers because they feel embarrassed. They always want to go home, lepak, that kind of feeling. Then when the exam week come, they be nervous. And for second point that I don't see in most of the tips for how to get a 4.0 GPA, that kind, is they never encourage people to go for consultations. I think that when lecturers, they give you the chance to go for consultations, I think that students should really take opportunity to use it, because consultations like that, lecturers always use this as an opportunity to give out free answers. They free answers, hints that you can use for your exams, and a lot of people don't take advantage of it. I hate it when people don't want to go for a consultation because they are lazy. And every time when you come back from a consultation, they will just ask you to lend them the notes or even send them the notes. Like, it's your responsibility. And that is my third point, is also be responsible for your own work. Don't depend on your friends, okay? If you really want something, you get out from your bed, you go out of your house and just go and get it. It doesn't matter whether you're lazy or what, because at the end of the day, what's your goal? You want to do well in your studies, right? You want to do well to get a good GPA, so why so shy? No? It's your school anyway. Fourth point is that asking for notes, I recommend people not to do it. Why I say so? Because sometimes when you ask your seniors for notes, there may be times where curriculum has changed. And what I meant is that, for example, I had this classmate in my class. He had notes from seniors and he just blindly followed it, and one time he just asked the lecturer, like, why is it that the notes is so different from yours? And the lecturer just told him that these notes that you have, the senior one, is outdated. So want to ask for notes, right? Make sure to check whether it's outdated, or else you better go and prepare your own notes, you know. Be responsible and try to plan out your schedules on how to write your notes. The next point, fifth point I think, is also to make your own notes. And making your own notes really does help you, because you remember things. When you write something, certain points will just go to your head like automatically. It's like you are computerizing everything into one compartment here in your brain. And that's what helps me a lot for my exams, is that I always do my own notes. I write them, I place them all in a manner that is I myself know from heart, and it really does help me a lot in my exams. I can even show you some of my notes here, which I put on OneNote. By the way, OneNote itself is also very good because you have a phone app that can really let you see the notes, okay? So let me try to find some notes. I know my advisors here are like here and there everywhere. I feel that because I don't have any script with me, I'm very unscripted in this case, so whatever you hear now is based on what I'm going to tell you. Something like this, you see? See this. Okay, so something like that. Like, you can make your own notes, like do all this stuff. Like, you see, you can categorize your own notes. Like, it's nicer than you go and ask other people notes. Because other people notes is, you may not understand the style, and when you do your own notes, the chances of you understanding what you're doing is so much better than you try to get from other people. See? So that is what I'm trying to say for this point, is to really make your own notes, because it's so much better than trying to like be so lazy, you know. And my next point is I'm talking about is the final year project. Okay, seems that the camera is not focused. So the next point I'm going to talk about is the final year project. So this camera is so weird. It's like just now it was so bright and now it's so dark. Oh, what's going on? It's like my face is so dark. Like, jeez, man. Where's my sunlight? Okay, this is the best. Okay, so my next point also is to talk about final year project. Please do realize that final year project does help boost your application. Why I say so is that if you are taking out an industry kind of project, I would say that it's a very good chance that you can show off to the world. Like, my project has to do with healthcare sector, and I did very well in it. I got distinction for it. and my project was selected to do for open house and industry day, which did not happen, the industry day, because again COVID-19. So my point is that to always take up a project that that really has to do with real life, and don't forget to work with teammates that are very efficient. Make sure to remember, if you are the leader, take control of your project. Do not let your members try to override the power against you. And I'm going to say this story because I do not mind trying to shame the person from my group. So there was this one time, in my group, there was this girl. She didn't like what I was doing. She think that I'm trying to take up her time. I'm taking up her time for the project, which was very crucial. At the time, it was few days before the submission. She wasn't happy that I asked everybody to come back on the Saturday, because her reason, she said she needed to do marketing project on that day as well. Now, because she said that Monday was the time to submit the marketing project, which is true, because majority of us, actually all of us, we were in the same class as her. But the thing is that I asked her, which is more important, your final year project or the class project? Class project, you can do so many other days. You can do so many other days before the submission of the final year project. So why is it you have to do it on that day when you know it's going to be very crucial and we're going to submit project? I was very firm about it because I just wanted, my aim was to make sure all my group mates did very well. They nominate me as the leader, okay? And I had to be a leader because I knew what I was going to do for this project. I knew the start to the end, how to make this whole project work for me, not just me, for everybody. And she didn't want to take that advice because she think I was selfish. And I was thinking, also at the same time, I chose Saturday. I didn't really want to choose on Saturday, but she didn't want it on Friday as well because she said that I'm taking up her time. The thing was that the reason why she wasn't that nervous is because majority of us, me and some other people, already helped her in some of the components for her project individuals. It's very unfair, I know. So not just about trying to take control of power, but make sure your teammate do not leech another teammate's effort, because that's how she also got a distinction and she did not deserve it. And I do not mind saying this because I know in my heart I did it for her, and I know the part better than she ever did, which thank God I also got a distinction. I'm very proud of it. So all in all, final year project, make sure you get efficient members. Make sure if you are the leader, exceed your power, show that you are the leader, show that you are in control of this project, you are the manager, you know what you're doing. Do not let anybody override your plan. Stay firm to your plan and execute it as accordingly, and make sure your teammates do not leech another teammate's work. Do not make sure that your teammates help one another, even if the final year project is individually graded. I tell you, working in teamwork really does boost this whole your overall grade as well. It really does show people that you are very good, you are very excellent. You can really work with your team and it really boosts your grade up. And that is what I want to say for final year project. Another point is to make sure join CCA that you are very passionate about. Don't join so many CCA just because you want to make your application look nice, make your university application nice, because after all, you only probably can list down 3 stuff in your university application. So join the ones that you feel that is something that you love doing. Example, like what I said, art club. Maybe take on a leadership position in art club or organize something. Take part. Be involved in your club. Don't just join, get the position, then after that you disappear. Because in my school club, my school of Infocom club, I'm going to also say this, is the fact I had this guy in my division who was actually the vice president, of the Industry and Technology Division. He took on the position because they say my school thought that he was capable, and we respected him. We respected him for his dedication. He was very good in his job, but then he wanted to prioritize being a supervisor at a store in Hillian, and he just neglected the club because he felt that this club wasn't important. In the end, we had no choice but to go and remove him from the club. So make sure you don't let this thing happen to you. If you are very passionate for it, I would say go for it. Go for that club, go for that position that you deserve, because it will really help you. And if you are very passionate, I see that the club will also do well. And at the same time, as a club, you get to organize stuff that you is on your own right, and you can say so many things, so much more for your application. That is what I want to say for this university application. And what else? My advisors are everywhere because I'm trying to like go with the flow. So whatever I say is just experience from what I know. And I'm not going to tell people the stuff like all those like get a very nice journal, jotting planner, all that, because I think it's bullshit. Okay, it's bullshit. I feel that you should do something in your own ways that you feel that is very comfortable. As long as you are very consistent with your work, you take responsibility, you can really work hard. I noticed about the word responsibility as well. Majority of the people that I know, they are not really responsible for what they do. A lot of them, to them, deadline is not important. I can assure you that deadlines are very important in terms of projects. Even your small little things that you do, it makes a difference. Because if you are very on time, you do things before the deadline, people will look up to you like you are very efficient. And then imagine what if, right, in internship you get lots of nice good projects coming and you can do it. Then you got so many more to talk about in your application. So that is one thing to really take note. And yeah, I mean, I'm not going to tell any more stuff about how to get that 4.0 GPA, because I'm certainly most people, all they want is to really just pass and that's it. Okay, I'm not going to tell about 4.0 because I myself ain't a 4.0, but I have a good GPA enough for me to secure offers from SIT and SMU. Do also take note that university application doesn't mean that your GPA is inside the indicative grade profile means that you're immediately accepted to go to the university. Trust me, it's not. I have seen people on reddit.com and some other place who got a 4.0 GPA. Very nice, right? It's very good. It's like equivalent to AAA/A, that kind of A-level offer. But they didn't get anything. And why is that so? Because they never put safety net choices in their university. In every university, they choose what? Law, doctor, medicine, all the branded stuff. Then they realize what? The competition is so high, it's so fierce, then they don't stand out, then they don't get it. So what I'm just trying to say is that be careful of what you put in your application as well. Try to put in some safety net choice, even though it's very disgustingly looking on your application. It really does help you. If you are so desperate to enter a university, to just really put a safety net choice. And by the way, when you put your first choice of all other choices, try not to put everything as double major, because I swear in the name of Lord, double major is even making you lose that opportunity, the spot in the university. Because double major, let's say if you don't meet the criteria for business and you only meet for computer science, then it's also, you won't get the offer. Okay, that is what I'm going to tell you in this case for these applications and all that such. Because people always think they are so capable of lots of things, then they realize why Like, why didn't they get the university? Because they never do lots of research and such for all this stuff. Okay, so is there anything else? No, I think I shall go to the next chapter, which is actually about advices to people. So my advices are more of rambling, so if you're still here, thank you for listening and watching me try to adjust my camera and such for this video. So the next up, I will be trying to give advices with reference to reddit.com. So if you are seeing me looking at the phone, that's because I'm trying to look at all the nonsense stuff here to see what is going on. So immediately, as if you pay attention to SG exams, there are lots of people who ask always about the same question, like, should I choose this course or that course? For example, should I go NUS law or SMU law? That, my friends, you need to go and do what? Research. I know that you're trying to ask senior advisors who can really help you, but I think at the end of the day, it goes down to your preference. Like, where do you want to go? Like, do you want to go into a city area to study, or do you want to go to a kind of resort like place like NTU to study? And I feel that in such ways, this kind of question we can't really answer, because I believe in some ways you already know what answer that you're trying to hope for, and all you just need is a confirmation, or either that you're just trying to show off your offers, which I do see mostly on reddit.com here. So again, my advice also to people, regardless of about university or what, is to really be certain of what you want to do. Okay, don't just take courses because people say this is good. Like, when you take up, like example, when you take up a doctor, you can earn more money. Please, even choosing a passion and interest can lead you to generate revenues, you see. Because if you don't really like it, how do you even get that money, right? Like, even when you study in university, even you have to have this kind of honors and all that, it really, the honors and all these degrees really does impact a lot on your income. So again, I would say passion over money is always the best choice at the end of the day when you're choosing polytechnic courses or even IT courses or university courses. Don't choose it because of prestige as well, you know. Do something that you like. Even if people judge you, you can just screw them, you know, because at the end of the day, you're doing something you like. And when you do something you like, you can even go far, you know. You can even go far to study what you like. Example, my sister, she studies international relations in uni. Even though people may not like the course because it's what they call it a social science thing, it's the low class to people, she love it, you know. She love it, and she even graduate with second honors, and now she's at University of Warwick just studying what she like, her masters, you know. So it doesn't matter where. It's like I think the most important thing is when you love it and you're very passionate, you find these things spark joys in you, and when it's spark joys, it really push you very far. If you really don't like it, kind of courses, let's say you go to law and you don't like it, you're wasting also money and time are really just the same thing. You spend money, you also spend the time there, and you should do something that really is worthwhile. So that is my advice for people who are trying to say which course is better and all that. Like, seriously. I also noticed the fact that, okay, I remember something, speaking of offers, before I got my offers for SMU and SIT, I was also very nerve-wracked. I thought like maybe my GPA is bad, you know, 3.58. I had contributions as well. I did lots of things in school. And then just because I look at this reddit.com, and then I feel so nervous all the time, you know. Every time I read this app, I always see people getting offers and here and that, but I can assure you that so long if you get a GPA, let's say a 3.5 and above, you will get into university. For people who are really just want to go into university, I suggest you guys to really get a 3.5 and above. And if you are really that hardworking, you really want to go into NUS, I suggest you to really aim for a 4.0. That is guaranteed. I'm not saying they can 3.98 and all that, because these days competitions for NUS and NTU are very hard. Very hard in the sense that even a 4.0 can't even go in. And why is that so? Personal statement. Personal statement. I last time didn't understand this power of personal statement until my sister told me. My sister corrected my personal statement to make sure that I got to the course that I want. And it's very important because personal statement not just shows your character, it also shows people what you are interested in, and they want to see the real you. Personal statement is a kind of gauge to see whether you as a student could fit into their culture. And I said that do not neglect your personal statement even if you have a very excellent, outstanding results. At least put some passion in your statement. At least put some passion in your statement and show off. This is the time for you to show off your achievements, show off your passion to get the course that you want. And if you have entrepreneurship as well, show off the entrepreneurship, because NUS and NTU, especially NUS, they are very keen on entrepreneurship. And how I know so is because a few months ago, I was invited by my program chair to submit my stuff that I did in school for this entrepreneurship route for entry to NUS. Of course, I knew I did not have any entrepreneurship experience, but he still forced me to write out the achievements that I know I won't get in because of my GPA. So if you really have a very nice GPA 4.0 and you have entrepreneurship, list that down, okay? Because NUS is very interested and very keen on people who really take pride in new ideas and really try to create businesses. If you are someone like myself, I came from primary school, then secondary school, N-level, then to PFP. Trust me, in primary school, if you feel like you're not doing well, don't worry. Because primary school, what you learn at the end of the day is going to be very bullshit in secondary school. And even secondary school subjects are much more easier than primary school. It's a totally different world. I feel that people should more anticipate secondary school life compared to primary school life. Primary school is just a small little world to make sure students are more ready for secondary school and so much more further education. Now, just to also mention about the Polytechnic Foundation program, I say that if you are a N-level student and you are in PFP program, please be proud of your program, because that is only given to top 15% of the people in your N-level cohort. That means you made it past, like, not sure how many people in the N-level cohort, but not everyone gets to take part in PFP program. You should be proud of, because you really get the spot. You don't have to go through and fight with the people for the course like those people in O levels. And why I say to be proud, because I have seen people from my own cohort and see some people from my internship, they are not very proud of being a PFP student. I don't see any of that program ever listed down in LinkedIn profile. Okay, none of them even want to list it, like as if that part of their life never happened. And it shouldn't be, because that program is what led you to a place in poly. So be proud of it. That is my advice for people who are in N-level, who are in PFP program or have graduated from PFP but not proud of it. If people feel that this PFP is just a foundation level, ask them to just go check the website, because it is known that not everyone have the chance to study it. If it's so bad, then why people are studying N-level so hard for it? I remember those times where I studied so hard for N-level because all I just wanted is to go into PFP, and I knew that this PFP was a place that I can just guarantee my choice in poly. I knew that in a way O-level was not enough for me to go where I want to be, you see. So that is why I said that you should be very proud of this program, because this program allows you to bypass that competition. It makes your life easier. And applying to universities, try to apply for all, regardless whether you're going to get in or not. Just apply for all, including SIT and SUTD. A lot of people, they don't really apply for all university because they thought that maybe they get a good result, then they can just go into either NTU, NUS or SMU. But let's say you only applied for these 3 university and SMU get back to you, then the other 2 universities never get back. It's the same as just like you only get 1 offer. Is like, whereas you have SIT and all that, you can even get like 2 offers at least. That is what happened for me. Was I applied for SUTD, I applied for NUS, NTU, SMU and SIT. I got rejected by SUTD, which is normal because I did not have O-level results. But at least secure a safety net for SIT, because SIT, I'm sure that if you have passion for something, if it's something related to what you want to do in future, like it's near towards your dream choice, I suggest you to go and apply it. You know, at least have something to foolproof your choices. Like you have more to choose from in this university joint acceptance portal. Like just now I had mentioned also somewhere in the video about double major and double degree. This is regarding for SMU especially. So before you even select double degree, just to make sure that you are aware of the terms for both sides. Double degree is when you have two programs to take part in. So example, you take part in business and information systems in SMU. That means you study full curriculum for 1 degree and the other degree. By the end of your whole university years, you will graduate with 2 degrees. That is double degree. For majority of the people in SMU, like myself, if you're applying for double major means that you study for 1 program, information systems, but you take on a few other modules from another school, like example, accountancy. And when you graduate, after your end of your 4 years, you will get 1 degree. But in that degree, the transcript, you get your main major, your first major, and your second major, which is information system and accountancy. That means you only graduate with 1 degree. But it's a top up. Think of it, double major as a top up. So that's what I'm clear for this double degree and double major stuff, because I think a lot of people may have misunderstood this double major thing and the double degree in their application. And please do not take double degree in just because of prestige. Like what I have mentioned, if you can't do it, there's no point. I felt in some way, my advice is that if you really want to have a double degree, I would say to really think through whether do you really want to do this in future. If you really want to do this in future, then okay, I mean, you can declare it even before your university start. But if you are not, don't pressure yourself. I suggest you to go into university to study your main major first, you know, at least like try to do well in your first major. And if you like a certain modules, then you can maybe declare it in year 2. Then just declare it, then later you realize, oh god, like I don't like it. Okay, there's this question about how to study effectively, about whether should the person revise what they learn every week and write own notes or do study before the test. I would say that I believe most universities, they do give out notes before lessons, so maybe that's how they do very well in their poly and then secure very good GPA. But for RP, it's different because most of the notes are given through problem statements. I would say that if your modules have like pre-class work, I suggest you to really take the opportunity to do the pre-class work, because it not just help boost daily grade if you are a RP student, but it also prepares you to expect what to come for problem statements as well. And that is also very important, because maybe that pre-class work can really help you in your revisions when you are trying to study for like MSAs and ESE. No. So yeah, my way of study effectively is to really, once the notes is out, I will just start to type them out on the OneNote, and I always leave some time for typing of notes during either before classes, like before any classes, because morning when you come to class, you got at least 1 hour or at least 45 minutes to prepare for the class. So I always use that kind of period to really do my notes, or to really spend some time, sacrifice some of your free time to really prepare your notes. And when you do so, you'll be very proud of yourself, because when it's near exams, you don't have to do so many work, because you already know by hand like what's going to appear for the paper and all that. Like, you know your basics. And do your exam paper, past year papers as well, because when you do your past year papers, and if you go for consultations, usually the lecturers like to go through them. They always go through answers, and then usually they will take some of the past year papers answer and they really just modify it. So it's nearly like you are practicing patterns. See, if you know the pattern for your school exam, you'll know what to expect for the future papers to come. And most of these exam papers in my school, they are already prepared like 1-2 years beforehand, so they are always one step ahead of what to do for this whole modules thing, especially for RP. So this is what I have. And if you're an RP student again, about CA grade, I hate it when people ask like, how do you maintain straight A's and B's for continuous assessment grades? How to get more than 3.5? I always tell people this: you don't have to care about your CA grades so long as you put your heart into your work, do what's expected of you for your team presentation, do your RJ, score well for your quiz, at least get A for your quiz, and you will get your A for your daily grades. And when you do so for 13 lessons, and you work hard for your ESE and MSA, you get A, you will get a guaranteed distinction in your modules. I always tell people that, because I don't want people like calculate here there, like what this your chemical elements, and here there put how many weight. Like, no, just do it. When you have to do it, just do it. Okay, so that is what I have for RP CA grades. And usually I'm very blunt, because I don't like the sugarcoat stuff where I feel that it's the truth, is the truth. So yeah, I think that is about it regarding advices to people. Also, maybe let's talk about friends. So if you are like me, came into secondary school feeling like no friends, I feel that is okay. If you are really good with your resources, if you have the knowledge, people will always tend to make friends with you. And you shouldn't be insecure about it, because knowledge will always win at the end of the day. What is friends when you're just there? If they're only making friends for network, then these are not real friends. Always be helpful to people as well. You never know when people are suffering. You never know when people are just lack of friends, and they only come to you because they only could trust you. That is even more sad. And that is what I also learned during my time in secondary school. And I always pity those people who always feel odd one out in school. Yeah, just be nice to people. No, just be kind to people, even if they are bad to you. No, if they treat you very badly. Because at the end of the day, this whole thing will really just change people's outlook of the way they see you. And that was what happened to me in secondary school. But only my life get better when I was in sec 2. When by sec 3, people even consider me their friends. And sec 4, my life even got better because we were all leaving and they really felt sorry for me. So yeah. And I think that's about it. That shall wrap up my life in school, my education journey. Like, I wouldn't say this more, not really say like education. I'm not gonna go some like filtered ways about my stuff because I think that myself, if you type my name on Instagram or you go to my school page, you probably see some of the articles that my school wrote. So I won't be dwelling into that. I will just talk about what I did those days that I felt is so much very important, especially how far I have come. And I look forward to studying my course at Singapore Management University. And to those of you who are still waiting for your offer, I hope that you manage to get into a university and do something that you are very passionate about. No, do something that you really love doing and you can see in the long run that you really enjoy it, not just for money but because you really did in your heart that you love it. I hope everyone is staying safe during this circuit breaker, this semi-quarantine lockdown period. Things will get better, I believe so, because I believe that we will get through this whole thing so long as we listen to what the government has to say, do the right thing, try to keep yourself stay hygienic. I think we can get through these whole obstacles. So that is all from me about my education journey so far. If you like this long video, you can feel free to like the video, and you can do subscribe to my channel where I do clips like visual videos and as well as tarot card readings if you are interested. So yeah, that's all from me and I hope you have a great day.